Hello everyone, hope you are well. On a Monday evening, I'm going to talk about several important things, including a really big time warning for everybody. Y'all need to be aware of this, especially if you drive, okay? Seriously. I'm also going to have a really good verse at the end of this video. But first, a couple of things. We all have to have our distractions. This world, this life can be really stressful. We have a lot on us, and we need our distractions. We need our hobbies, of course. And I'm going to share one of mine. And I don't know if I've shared this before. I think I've mentioned it before, but contrary to popular belief, I don't watch a lot of other prepper or prepping videos. I really don't. I do a lot of research myself. Now, there's a few prepper channels that I watch, just a few. That list is small. You know who you are, but I don't miss those. But it's not that many. What I really watch the most on YouTube actually is about trucks and cars. Really more trucks and cars, but I've always been an automobile enthusiast, no matter what it is. Okay. But Mrs. Dawg ordered me a magazine that, get this, y'all. Seriously, are you ready for this? It's called, no affiliation with this, of course, but Extreme Terrain. They sell like all types of accessories and add-ons you can do to your truck. But the magazine actually, it's the whole thing is dedicated to just a particular model and range of years of one particular truck, the Toyota Tacoma, which is what I own. Now, mine does not look anything like this. Okay, it's nothing like that. However, the whole thing, the whole magazine is just stuff for my particular vehicle, for my particular truck. Is that cool or what? I just thought that's fascinating. Yeah, you can tell I've already worn this thing. I've already looked through it. Well, you can't really tell there, but I have. Anyway, and I watch a lot of videos on this stuff, okay? Not just about my truck, all kind of trucks. It's okay. It's one of those things. Share yours if you have a particular adult Legos that you're into. Share that. That's a distraction. Okay. Enough of that. Also, real quick, I saw a post on social media earlier tonight that said that it's been a bad week for Satan. And it really has. If you just look at the Supreme Court rulings over the last few days of this past week, among them is, of course, the big one that made the news, the Roe versus Wade one. And also, there was one today that was announced about a high school football coach. I forget what state it was, but a high school football coach had been praying on the field after games, post-game prayers that he was doing on the field. And they tried to stop him for that and saying he couldn't do that. And the Supreme Court has upheld his right to do that, which is pretty cool. So we've scored a couple of big TDs on Satan and spiked the ball on him for a change. How about that? So had to mention that. All right, important warning. Really something to be aware of if you drive at all, and especially if you drive at night, okay? Early morning hours. I know some of you all keep different schedules and early morning and you work odd hours. But I saw this post on a Facebook group, a local Facebook group that I follow that's right here in my community, okay, in the county I live in. And then we're kind of rural. We're rural, more out in country as opposed to being a big suburb, for sure. Okay. And this post was talking about, it was a public service announcement or a warning out there by a young lady that said that twice, and this has happened twice, where she was driving in the middle of the night, doing nothing wrong now, not breaking any traffic violations or anything like that, okay, and had two attempts from a car to pull her over, posing as a police officer, okay. She said that At night, of course, it's hard to tell who's behind you anyway. But this car had lights on the top, but they were the cup, the single lights, like they had in the old days. It's not the solid bar lights that cops have now. But this car had a red and a blue light on top of the vehicle, and it was flashing, but it had no siren. And I know they don't have to blare the sirens, but attempted to pull her over. Now, her intuition told her not to stop, thankfully. So she went with her gut and did not stop. She just kept driving. She didn't panic, but she just kept driving. And when this person, this guy or whatever, I'm assuming was a guy, saw that she was not going to pull over, they turned the lights off and faded away and disappeared. And this has happened twice to her recently. So I thought that was very interesting, but also pretty scary. Okay. Makes me wonder if they followed her from wherever she left to go home or wherever she was going. Don't know the details of that, but this happened in the evening, early morning, overnight hours. It was it was very dark, so there were no well lit areas in the area. Okay, she would have had to drive into town, or the nearest town, which you had to go a little ways. Okay, and so something to be aware of, something to really keep in mind. I mean, I think just in general, it's even in daylight, something we should bear in mind. If you ever this happens to you, or something like this happens to you, even in daylight, if it's not clear that it's a police car, you can call 911 and verify, let them know what's going on, and they can verify that you are being pulled over, and that's okay to do from everything I'm reading. And so that's something to do, or at least drive to somewhere that's well lit in public, okay, or even home or fire station, police station, something like that. So I think, this is just one of those things. This is another additional way that crime or predators, whatever you want to call them, are getting more creative and more evil and creative in their ways to rob or do worse to you. And so I think it's also a good reminder to be aware of other kind of ways to be scammed as well. I'm hearing a lot of this, a lot of financial scams, whether it be in person, somebody coming up to you and trying to talk you into something, over the internet, phone, texting. So just beware of mail even. I know when we get a lot of junk mail that has our name on it, or even if it's not junk mail, that has your name and personal information on it, don't just toss it in the trash. At least shred it or burn it. Don't want that floating out there where somebody can go grab your trash and get your personal information. Okay, so just be aware of that as well, or a good reminder. So shred your mail with personal information on it. I get a lot of texts that are just, I don't know if they're just marketers or whatever, but they have links, and it's like, click here to get this or whatever. I don't click anything like that. Okay, it's just not worth the chance. Okay, and get them by email as well. So beware of those. Also, I've heard of, going back to the driving thing, I've heard of people being hit, bumped, especially at night and when nobody's around. Or a car just kind of taps your back bumper. If it doesn't feel right, I wouldn't stop. At least get to a place in public that's well lit, okay, where other people are around, at least, or call the police and have them meet you somewhere, and talk about it there. All right. Good verse for today is Isaiah 41, verse 13 says, "For I am the Lord your God, who takes hold of your right hand and says to you, do not fear, I will help you." And do not fear or do not be afraid is repeated all throughout the Bible. One of the most common things we hear throughout. So I think for a reason. Now, easier said than done sometimes, I know. But something to keep in mind and be mindful of and just remember. All right. That is all I have for now. Let's be aware out there. Be safe. God bless you. I'll see you soon.